Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever in the world you are. You're with us for our 95th Sunday gathering. I'm Sandra, if we haven't met yet, and I've got my friends Darren, Carrie, and Phil here today. And yes, it was 95 weeks ago that we came together wanting to offer some inspiration and love for a short time while we thought COVID would be around. And you know what? It was contagious and just caught on like wildfire. So each week we're just going to keep on keeping on, and we're here to just put a smile on your face, love in your heart, and so much more. Well, this week I am the chairperson, so I came up with the theme, and I thought laughter. Why not? Now, science doesn't know too much about laughter. They can't really pinpoint why we laugh. We know what causes it sometimes, but all I can say is I'm so grateful God, the universe, the divine power, whoever that may be, created laughter, because it sure does feel good. So that is our theme today. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Darren for our opening prayer.
Thank you for that, Sandra, and thank you for coming up with a wonderful theme for this week. And I'm sure there's going to be lots of laughter. But as we start, if you'd all like to just close your eyes and join me for the opening prayer. As we gather here together again, coming together from across the globe, coming together for that one purpose, that one goal, for uniting the two worlds together as one. And in doing so, we come together in the understanding that we come from different countries, we come from different backgrounds, we come from different teachings and learnings. But for today, we push aside our daily lives and enter into this gathering with an open heart and an open mind, and we set no demands or no expectations upon our workers or our dear friends, helpers, and loved ones within that unseen world, so that we can all truly embrace and enjoy the feeling we get when we truly get the essence of that unseen world, when we can unite the two worlds together as one. Our workers here today, as always, find an absolute joy and privilege to work on behalf of the unseen world and with the unseen world and represent the unseen world, to be the voice here today. And as always, this will be done with the utmost respect and integrity for the unseen world. And we offer you our love and gratitude for allowing us these opportunities and allowing these Sunday gatherings to take place. As we open up this Sunday gathering, we do so as always with copious amounts of love within our hearts, positivity within our mind, and smiles and laughter upon our face, to truly make this gathering a wonderful experience for all. And we just ask that these moments may be captured and shared across the globe to all those minds that are having trouble at this time, to truly bring happiness and upliftment to all of mankind, and bring to life that saying that laughter truly is the best medicine. So as always, dear friends, we welcome you all here today with open arms and love and smiles and laughter. Amen.
Thank you very much, Darren. I'll be doing the reading today, and I did some research on the benefits of laughter. And I know in our Sunday gatherings, all kinds of folks come in. And one thing that does draw a lot of people is the fact that we do our medium demonstration. We all know and are full aware that there's a lot of grieving souls that happen to be in our community right now. And laughter is not a bad thing. It really does help us to feel better. And before I do the reading, I just wanted to share something I remembered this morning. Is after my dad died, it was really, really tough time, not just due to his physical passing, but we were one of those families that fought, and it was just all ugly. So the day of Dad's funeral, and at the grave site, we were all together as a family with friends, and the grave digger handed us the shovel. So we each symbolically, I guess, put a shovel of sand into the hole there. And each one of us kids went around, adult kids, and next thing you know, it was handed to my niece, Katie, who was about 7. And then my nephew, Jack, he was just about 4. And he did everything he could to lift that shovel and put a scoopful on in the hole. And the shovel was then given to the gravedigger. And this guy just continued to fill up the hole. And little Jack, with that childhood voice, he just says, big pout, he says, how come he gets so many turns? And everybody roared with laughter. I mean, to go from sadness and fighting and anger and all that to just belly laughs with tears coming out of our eyes. It was unexpected. It was just one of those little miracles of having a child around, and we're ever so grateful. It's one of my most favorite memories. So here are some benefits about laughter. It's true. Laughter is a strong medicine. It draws people together in ways that trigger health, physical and emotional, and beautiful changes within the body. Laughter strengthens your immune system, boosts your mood, diminishes pain, and protects us from the damaging effects of stress. Nothing works faster or more dependably to bring our minds and bodies back into balance than a good laugh. Humor lightens your burdens, inspires hope, connects you to others, and keeps you grounded, focused, and alert. It also helps us release anger and forgive sooner. With so much power to heal and renew, the ability to laugh easily and frequently is a tremendous resource for surmounting problems, enhancing your relationships, and supporting both physical and emotional health. Best of all, this priceless medicine is fun, free, and easy to use. As children, we used to laugh hundreds of times a day, but as adults, life tends to be more serious and laughter more infrequent. But by seeking out more opportunities for humor and laughter, you can improve your emotional health, strengthen your relationships, find greater happiness, and even add years to your life. Laughter is good for your health. Laughter relaxes the whole body. A good hearty laugh relieves physical tension and stress, leaving your muscles relaxed for up to 45 minutes after. Laughter boosts the immune system. Laughter decreases stress hormones and increases immune cells and infection-fighting antibodies, thus improving our resistance to disease. Laughter triggers the release of endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals. Endorphins promote an overall sense of well-being and can even temporarily relieve pain. Laughter protects the heart. Laughter improves the function of blood vessels and increases blood flow, which can help protect you against a heart attack and other cardiovascular problems. Laughter burns calories. Okay, so it's no replacement for going to the gym, but one study found that laughing for 10 to 15 minutes a day can burn approximately 40 calories, which could be enough to lose 3 or 4 pounds over the course of a year. Laughter lightens anger's heavy load. Nothing diffuses anger and conflict faster than a shared laugh. Looking at the funny side can put problems into perspective and enable you to move on from confrontations without holding on to bitterness or resentment. Laughter may even help you to live longer. A study in Norway found that people with a strong sense of humor outlived those who don't laugh as much. The difference was particularly notable for those battling cancer. So the bottom line, and yes, of course, the homework for this week is let's laugh. We're going to move into our healing segment now, and I'm actually going to ask you to keep your eyes open and watch the screen during it. The first part is a little project that was created to see if laughter is contagious. And the second part is a song that I think you're really going to enjoy. Now, the spirit world is very intelligent, and I know they use our feel good energy to work miracles as far as healing goes. And laughter is something that just totally turns up that dial. So if you want to just take a moment now and think of friends, family, those people, including yourself, that may need a bit of healing, and just kind of bring them into our Sunday gathering, just into your thoughts. And I'm going to play this video, and all there is for you to do is just be present, okay? Just remember there's two parts to it. Here we go. I hope you enjoyed that. Now over to my three amigos for our address.
Thank you very much, Sandra. And that was an incredible video putting together. It just shows the power of laughter, and that second part, the power of a smile. And when you gave us the theme for today, it really got me thinking about which aspect did I want to speak about. Was it about laughter? Was it about smiling? Was it about humor? And then it came together as I heard your video today about moments, about there are a whole bunch of moments. And that got me going through. I'm not 21, although with Phil, nobody's over 21. But it got me thinking about in my years, what moments have helped shape me and what moments have shaped my life. And I wonder how many other people were touched by that. Dearest Sandra with your Shrek. In that aspect of what moment allows us to be, and seeing you absolutely covered in green there with Shrek reminds me of the moment I watched the film Shrek with my daughter, and Donkey keeps saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? We there yet? Are we there yet?" And Donkey also says, "We're like onions. They make you cry, but you peel back the layers." And in those moments, every single thing you see every single day will make you feel something. I have a lovely friend that I've known since school, so we've known each other longer than we probably care to remember. She's a lovely lady. She's a nurse, and she has seen so many different aspects of life, from the part of the hospital which brings life into the world to the part of the hospital where people exit this physical world. And yet she always has a smile on her face. She always has a way of putting life, and it isn't fake, it isn't put on. She genuinely is that happy person. And I have so many moments with her, from going through school to the things we did, to the things we said, to the moments we shared. How many of you have those moments as you've gone through that have really stuck with you? Now, many of us might be over 21 and had lots of life experience, but if you think back to the things that shaped you, you'll probably find that your sense of humor was shaped in some way by your upbringing. Phil and I have spent many hours this week looking through old videos and watching comedians, and really our sense of humor has been shaped in some way or to some extent by what we were brought up by. I remember when I was young watching Michael Crawford play Frank Spencer, and Some Others Do Have Them. Now, I was probably too young to understand the sense of humor, but what made me laugh was seeing my mother laugh uncontrollably at these programs. That's the moment I remember. I also remember on Christmas Day sitting in my grandparents' house, sitting down to watch the two Ronnies. Now, I did get the sense of humor, but what I found funny was my gran, her laugh just you could hear it next door. It was so loud and so catching. She would laugh and laugh and laugh. And there's another thing, some of you might want to search engine Google or whatever search engine you use. There's a gentleman called Ricky Fulton. Now, he used to do sketches, and some of his sketches were done on Hogmanay or New Year's Eve, as many will know it. And he came on as the Reverend I Am Jolly, and he was anything but. In Scotland, we would have called him Dua. He was depressing, he was sad, he was monotone, he was everything the Reverend I Am Jolly would not be. But there's one sketch, and he drinks water, but somebody unwittingly has put some gin into this water, and he gets very, very drunk. And of course, he's a reverend. And I showed Philip, and every year we play it. Every year without fail, we play it, because I can have my eyes just start watering before I even start watching it. I end up creased, I end up on the floor, but it brings back memories of everybody in my family laughing at it, watching it and laughing at, staying up till the bells. And he was on just before the bells at midnight came on. Those memories are what stay with us. Those are the memories that can bring a smile to our face. There will be many other memories that might, for a moment, take the smile away. But remember, how we feel and how we think is a choice. There will be grief, there will be sadness, there will be challenges, but we can choose to remember the moments that make us smile and bring laughter to our hearts.
Thank you, Kerry. Thank you, Sandra, for a wonderful theme. And Kerry, I don't know how you sat there without laughing with Sandra turning into Shrek. But that is exactly what Kerry's been talking about. It's about memories. So after this, we'll sit back and think, how on earth did you keep a straight face? Because I just wanted to burst out laughing. But
you might have something different.
We have something different. So now Sandra has just turned into a Viking. So those people that can see. So I'm going to try and keep that straight face. But how many of us right now really got an ache in the face from laughing and smiling and watching that healing segment, people laughing? Who didn't laugh? Who didn't feel that real emotional feeling of want to join in with them? So them scientists are right. It has an effect on us, because everything I was going to speak about has now gone through from my mind, because I just want to laugh. I just want to have a joke. But it is an emotional place we go to, and a wonderful place that laughter takes us to and creates so much healing within us. And we've probably all heard the saying of, when things get you down, don't cry, but laugh, because it just takes that pressure and that stress away from us. But we don't have to look very far, do we? Thanks to Sandra. Well, yes, just in front of us. But as Sandra played that video, we saw people, we saw pets smiling and laughing. So we don't have to look very far to be inspired by something that will lift our spirits, that will create us and put us into a better place. And if you listen to Kerry, and she talks about memories of TV shows, but we also have memories of family members as well, don't we? Those that might still be here and those that might have gone already to the spirit world. And as we think back to their characters. Now, there's lots of stories I'd love to share with you, but I know they're unpolitically correct and they wouldn't go down very well, especially in today's society. But there are a few that I can share with you. And it's those people that have really shaped us, as Kerry said, because when we're early in life, we're programmed by life. So when we have these interactions with grandmothers, with uncles, with fathers, with brothers and in-laws, it's those memories they create and the little things that they say. And it's incredible today where even comedians use that same material that make us laugh, that remind us, take it back to yesteryear, and all those memories come flooding back. And it was a medium from the same part of the world that I'm from, a lovely gentleman called Peter Kay, lived in the next town. And he used to do all his sketches, all his scripts were on the sayings of Lancashire and the people he interacted with. And when I listen to Peter, I don't stop crying with laughter, because he brings me back to my childhood, brings me back to my grandparents, where they used to say things, switch the big light on. And it's like, it's these little sayings that we go to when they're struggling to read, just switch the big light on instead of passing the glasses. So it's just little sayings that we get remembered about. Or we have uncles. I have an uncle as well that used to be a scout leader, and he used to think he was funny. Now, he was funny to watch, but he wasn't particularly funny. But what he would do is do all these impressions and different things, and it was funny watching him because he thought he was funny, but he wasn't funny. So he used to impersonate a lot of comedy actors and comedians such as Tommy Cooper, just like that. And he used to do all these things at the most inappropriate times, and people would just look. Then we just burst out into laughter because you couldn't have picked a worse moment to do these things. But then again, he used to do it at the opportune moment for the wrong reasons, and he always got that laugh. But my grandmother was absolutely fantastic when I went to see her. And I always wondered, and it's a memory that I'll always have, and I'll share it with you. Every time I used to go round there, she used to have a special room for me with games and toys and everything else. And I always remember my parents coming back and my mum would say, how's he been? Oh, he's been as good as gold. And you can probably all relate to that. And she says, I don't know how you do it. And my grandmother said, I just shut him in the front room. And that moment I thought, I understand now why I was good. I was never let out of the room, so I could never cause any trouble or anything. So it's these little things. But my grandmother was a strong Yorkshire lady who said it like it was. But when the phone rang, it was like, hello, it's 01257, and the posh telephone voice would come on. Then as soon as the phone, well, you know who that was, and the voice drops and goes back to normal. So it's all these memories we share, and it's not just the memories that we have, it's all the other memories that are evoked with it. So when I listen to Peter and people like that, it really reminds me of my childhood. And probably those that in certain places, we used to have people coming selling things at the door. We used to have a pop man. And we used to go, okay, great, the pop man's here. But then we used to get the Panda Cola and all the other rubbish pops and things we were given. And as a child, we used to love it. But now we look back and did we like those things? And we also used to have a video man that used to come. And we used to always joke and call him Blu-ray. But we talk about Blu-ray today, everyone thinks of a CD disc or a DVD. But he was called Blu-ray for a different reason. He used to say, I've got all the normal stuff that's on the telly and everything else, and I've got extras if you want them. So it's just these little memories, politically incorrect things that tickle me. I've got a sense of humor. And my father-in-law, Kerry's dad, has got a wonderful toilet sense of humor. I get on famously with him because of that. So it's all these interactions and things that our families do or say, but also, as you saw in that video, those pets as well. And even the memories where Kerry quoted then, films like Shrek and stuff. I'm trying not to look at the screen still with Sandra, still as that Viking. All I can see is this pair of horns looking at me. But when we look back at our upbringings and TV programs, and we can all relate to them, different comedians and everything else, and we go out in society and we can just at those opportune moments remember our loved ones and things they used to say, and it just gives us that smile, and it can be that opportune moment. Now, back in Lancashire where I was brought up and bred, I used to have an uncle, and everyone in them days had an uncle that wasn't a member of the family but was close, and he used to be a butcher. Now, talk about politically being incorrect, he was, but I tell you something, his butcher shop was always full. Before it opened, there was always a queue. And I remember speaking to him and I said, why do people always queue up to come in your shop? He says, no matter, I said, no matter when I come and visit, I said, they're always queuing. What is it about your butchers that is different from everyone? He says, there's nothing about the butchers. He said, it's about me. People remember things you do for them, but they remember most how you make them feel. And I thought to myself, there's something to that. He used to make them laugh. He was completely inappropriate with his comments and everything else, but people came back for the experience. And I remember stood there and thinking, so that's so close to the knuckle. How do you get away with that? People had tears in their eyes. People came into his shop quite positive because they knew what, but they always left laughing, wiping tears from their eyes. And they always left as well with extra bits of meat and crackling sausage, you name it, sort of thing. That's just who he was. He was an infectious person. So, ladies and gentlemen, You can just be who you are and be natural, because people will love you because they'll remember for how you made them feel. I'm going to leave you with that.
Thank you for that. It's always good to sit and listen to you guys talk. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm sat here, my face is aching where I'm smiling so much. I've got tears in my eyes. And I think, oh my God, what I'm going to talk about? Because I'm so engrossed in what you guys are saying. And Sandra's right. I mean, that healing video, the healing video about laughing being infectious, you kind of think, yeah. And you know what? I was sitting there watching it and I could feel myself laughing, and I looked at it and I could see Phil, Kerry laughing, Sandra laughing. And I'm laughing at Sandra now because she's appeared in hat, sunglasses, moustache and beard. And it's, and if anyone knows me, I'm one of those people, once I start laughing, I can't stop. So I'm trying to do what they did, ignore, I'm trying to ignore Sandra's bit of the screen. Because otherwise you'll have just a period of time of me just laughing at you. But I'm a true believer, laughter truly is a good medicine. And I'm looking this way because I'm trying not to look at the screen. But for me, I've got of a certain age, I've lived the life, I've got a bit of an experience of life. And I've got to the point in my life, I don't want negativity bothering me. I don't want drama interfering with my life. So I always look in a positive, and I hope I come across always as a smiley person, a happy person. And I know there's a saying, live each day as it's your last. Well, really, that's not practical, because if I was doing that, I'd be going on holiday every day. I'd be going to Disney World every day. I'd be doing all these wonderful things. It's not practical. So for me, the second best thing, smile every day, be happy every day, laugh every day. It's the closest you can get to living each day as if it's your last. And I do it all the time. You know, there's moments you have to be serious, and there's times that you have to be serious. But for years, I've never been a serious person, and I never want to be. And people say sometimes, not necessarily to me, but you hear that saying, act your age. Do you know what? Why should you act your age? Why can't you be a kid? We're all big kids at heart, let's be honest. You know, we all love Disney. We all love being silly. We all love goofing around. So why not do that day in, day out? And I do it all the time at work. And it's a bit like Phil said, you know, with his uncle in the butcher shop. We have a lot of regulars come in. And if we're not on the counter for a while, or we're not down the front for a while, or we're away for a week, or whatever it may be, you kind of come back to, oh, where have you been? We've missed you. You know, and you get all that kind of, and it's just because you're being who you are. You're trying to be humorous. You're trying to be funny. And I think with humor, happiness, funny, laughter, it shouldn't be something that's forced. It should be a natural thing. I find if I try to be funny, it backfires massively. And I'm not saying I'm a funny person by any means, but I always try to live every day smiling, laughing, and being happy and making other people happy. And I always say it takes more to be miserable and negative, a lot more energy. It takes energy and power to be hateful towards people or confrontational towards people. Do you know what? It's a lot less stressful just to be happy and go lucky and smile throughout your day. A couple of nights ago, I was up in the bathroom and Scott was downstairs, and I could hear this shouting and yelling. It wasn't me or Scott. And I said to Scott, what's going on? What's going on? And we've run to the front window, and one of our neighbours is out with another neighbour. And they were stood shouting at each other. I can't repeat the obscenities that were coming out. They were shouting and hollering at each other. And I think, what on earth is going on? And we're laughing at it because of the stuff they're saying and the comments they're coming out with. And after it had all finished and they dispersed, I looked at Scott. I said, that was for a parking space. They were arguing and shouting and getting themselves in that state for a parking space. I said, it's funny to watch, but it's quite sad in a way why people and how people get themselves worked up with the most insignificant things. You know, I said, they've got stressed out and worked up now. They've gone in their houses to their families, and I'm still trying not to look at Sandra. And they're probably stressed, angry, taking it out on family members. Why? It's a parking space. Get over it. And I've got that in my life now. I'm very much, you know, we all have problems in life. We have our daily problems. You know, we have to worry about finances, health. Those issues are always going to be there. We can go through life worrying about them, stressing about them. Can we change them? Not always. You know, we can live our life as healthy as we can, take care of finances as best we can, but other problems crop up throughout life. But you know what? If we spent our life stressing and worrying about them, we'll become really ill. But do you know what? Sometimes you just have to laugh at problems. And, you know, me and Scott do all the time. We laugh, you know, problems come up. We don't intentionally do it. You just, sometimes there's nothing you can do. It's out of your hands. It's out of your control. You just have to laugh. And I know me and Scott were talking about it, the same as Phil, you know, Phil and Kerry. And I was trying to think what to talk about for this gathering. And we've looked back at some of the things that's happened over the years. And obviously, we used to, when the world was open more, we used to travel a lot. And we've had so many cancelled flights, you know, for various different reasons. And you see, when there's a flight cancelled, I remember there was one in Gran Canaria, the poor woman, she was the only rep for this one airline in the airport, and she was cringing. And we went up to her and said, "What's wrong?" She goes, "I've got to go and deliver the news to all these people, 200 plus passengers. They're not going home today. Their flight's been cancelled." And we was happy. We was like, "Do you know what? We get to be in a sunny climate on a beautiful island for an extra day." So we said, "Come on, we'll go with you." So we walked along with her and we stood at the front with her. And as you get, you know, people get huffy and rude and start shouting obscenities and what have you. And we was there with her, you know, saying, "Guys, come on, you know, it's not her fault. It's what's happened. It's life." Do you know what I mean? But people get themselves so worked up. And we're like, you know, we've got to that age, you know, like Kerry, we won't mention our ages, but we've got to that time in our lives where things don't bother us as much. They're not an issue. You have to smile. You have to laugh through things. And I know, like these guys, I've been involved with spiritualism for a number of years, but I've been involved more so in physical mediumship, which for those of you that don't know, we you know, Scott Milligan's a medium. We sit in the dark, we all hold hands, we sing and have fun and laughter, and we get to hear the voices of the unseen world. Sometimes we feel that person manifest within the room. And I remember having many conversations in home circle with the unseen world. What can we do to improve this? What can we do to make this better? How can we do this? How can we do that? Because even though I was circle leader, there was still, you know, I had so much to learn and so much knowledge to gather, like we all do. You want to know more, you want to do more, you want to know how to do it better. And I remember having this conversation with them in the unseen world this one day. And I said, "What can we do to help you in a physical seance condition? How can we make it better for you? What can we do to improve the conditions for you to work better? You know, how can we help?" And they said, "You know what? The best thing to that in a physical sense, and it probably is in any terms of mediumship, the best thing is laughter." They said that's the number one best thing to provide power, energy, and provide that environment. But obviously, we can't sit there for an hour and a half, whatever, however long the session is, laughing, because I don't know that many jokes, and I'm sure you guys don't know that many jokes. But I remember having this conversation, and I thought, "Do you know what?" And those moments, we did have seances where there was laughter and fun, and, you know, just hearing me sing was laughter enough. But it's like, do you know what? That is so right, and it's so on the point. And it kind of ties up with what Sandra said, and that saying, laughter is the best form of medicine. And I cannot promote it enough. It really, truly is. If you can go through life smiling, laughing, you know, like as the problems come up, we can deal with some, we can't necessarily deal with some. So why stress about things we can't deal with? Just keep smiling and just keep laughing. And before I finish off, I just want to share with you a brief story. It always brings, I've heard it many, many times, like Kerry has with her TV show on Christmas Day, or the clip on Christmas Day, or New Year's Day. It always brings a smile to my face. And some of you may have heard it, but I'm going to share it anyway. And it's called, "He asked his wife to bury him with all his money. So this is what she did. There was a man who had worked all his life and has saved all his money. He was a real cheapskate when it came to his money. He loved money more than just about anything. But just before he died, he said to his wife, 'Now listen, when I die, I want you to take all my money and place it in the casket with me, because I want to take all my money to the afterlife.' He got his wife to promise him with all her heart that when he died, she would put all the money in the casket with him. One day, he died. He was stretched out in a casket. The wife was sitting there in black next to their best friend. When they finished the ceremony, just before the undertakers got ready to close the casket, the wife said, 'Wait a minute.' She had a shoebox with her. She came over with the box and placed it in the casket. Then the undertakers locked the casket and rolled it away. Her friend said, I hope you weren't crazy enough to put all that money in there with that stingy old man. She said, yes, I promised. I'm a good Christian. I cannot lie. I promised him that I was to put that money in the casket with him. You mean to tell me you put every cent of his money in the casket with him? I sure did, said the wife. I got it all together, put it into my account, and I wrote him a check. That always makes me smile and cry with laughter when I hear that story. I'll probably not do it justice by telling you how I did. But again, it kind of, you look at the moral of the story, you know, we can work ourselves to death. We can create the biggest pot of gold. We can do all these wonderful things, but you can't take it with you. So let's learn to live, learn to smile, learn to be your true selves. And don't be afraid to be stupid or silly or whatever it is. And I know, you know, Sandra spoke about laughter being, you know, can help with these different illnesses and ailments. But did you know it can help with fear as well? And Scott always says to me, he goes, I can always tell when you're scared or nervous because you start laughing. And I do. It's a natural defense. It's a natural aid, I suppose. And I'm sure Kerry and Phil and Sandra can back me up on this one. A couple of years ago in Disney World, we was queuing up or looking to go on Everest, one of the roller coasters in Disney. And I'm one of these people, I'm petrified of roller coasters, big rides, heights, all that stuff, petrified. I thought, no, I'm not going on it. Kerry was a bit hesitant about going on it. So I made a deal. Even though my heart was pounding, I said, I'll go on it if you go on it. So we made this deal. We went on this roller coaster and we was in amongst all the screaming and yelling, we was in fits of laughter. And even to today, we still look back at that day and talk about that day. So, you know, laughter is a great medicine for so many things. So don't live life seriously. I mean, even with my parents are in their 70s now, and I haven't been serious with them for years. And do you know what? I was thinking earlier, I don't think I've even called my mum for years. Mum's got a nickname that I gave her many years ago, and it's kind of stuck with her. So now when she answers the phone or I see her, I also hiya, and I won't give the nickname away just in case. But I always refer to her by a nickname. And I do the same to my dad. I call him by a nickname. And, you know, I'll see him a couple of times a week. We go shopping and all that kind of stuff. But we're never, ever serious. And I don't believe we should be serious. We should be happy. We should be smiling. Your faces should be aching and the tears should be strolling, just like mine are now. So, ladies and gentlemen, live your life the best you can. Keep smiling and keep laughing. It truly is the best medicine in the world. So thank you. And I'll hand you back to Sandra now she's back to normal.
I've always been normal. Thank you, guys. That was just wonderful and a nice walk down memory lane too. Ladies and gentlemen, you've never had fun unless you've been with these guys in person and with Scott as well. And sometime when the world is cleaner, we resume our We Don't Die live events, and you can come be with us and do fun things with us. And the next best thing we have is our Sunday gathering and our weekly classes, and they're fun and great and fantastic. We're going to move on now to our demonstration of mediumship. And if you're with us new for the first time on the Sunday gathering, we do celebrate life. We really do. We want to give you everything we've got so that you live a great life and have a good day until we see you again. And part of that is knowing the reality of the afterlife. Each one of us has been involved in one way or the other of studying the afterlife or being involved, or Carrie and Phil being evidential mediums. Darren's done years of training and is part of the circle with Scott. And myself, I've been almost 25 years of investigating the afterlife. So it's real. The news hasn't had like the tipping point where all the world accepts it, but it is real. We'll give you everything we've got. So during our Sunday gatherings, Phil and Carrie are kindly our in-house mediums. And during our time together, there's usually a handful of representatives of the spirit world that come forward to say, hey guys, we're still around. We're with you. We hear you. We love you. We remember these times. And it's to uplift us all that even if you don't get a personal communication today, they're representatives of the thousands who are with them that are our loved ones saying, we are with you. So how this works is Carrie and Phil will each demonstrate, and as someone from the spirit world will be in touch with them, and they use their mind and their feelings and their memories and all kinds of things. And so they relay the information. So you'll hear them give different bits of information about the spirit person who's connected with them. And we'll let them finish, let them say what they need to say. And then we'll ask you, who recognizes this person? Now, it's got to be, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be someone a little bit distant that you know of. But we want you to be able to understand all the information about that person. And they have to be deceased in the spirit world. And if you can recognize that person, we want you to press your raise hand button. So this is audience participation now. If you want to find on your device, wherever that raise hand button is, and just press it now for me, just so you can see how it works. And after you found it and you press the raise hand, now it should say lower hand. And I want you to press it again so that your hand goes down. You guys are good. Very good. Very good. Sometimes it takes a minute or two to find out who this person is here for. So we always want to make sure we give it enough time so we can recognize and have that person with us. At that time, when we figure out who the spirit person is here for, I'm going to press a magical button on my side that you'll get a little message that the host would like you to unmute yourself. Now you can't see that right now because I have to press that. And Carrie and Chassie, you still have your hands raised, just so you know, if you want to press them one more time to take them down. Anyways, when you work with Carrie or Phil, they need to do all the work. So your only job is to say yes, no, or I don't know to the information that they give you. It's not an exact science. They're using everything they've got to deliver the messages, and they'll do that the best they can. But if you can recognize the information they're saying, yes is great. If you don't, say no. It's a new opportunity for them to really distinguish what the spirit person is having to say, or I don't know. We want everybody to leave here today knowing that Carrie and Phil did the work and that it wasn't our recipient that gave the information. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, before every demonstration of mediumship, of course, we play a feel-good song. Now, our song, was actually two songs merged together in one, and they are no different. And of course, our theme is laughter. So I don't know if Carrie and Phil, you want to keep your eyes closed because you are active participants in our music videos today. And yeah, I tell you, they are so much more than just mediums. So here we go, guys. And I know Carrie and Phil are going to hate me for this, but you know what? Oh, Carrie, you're the one that I want right now. Sorry to disturb you sitting for the power there, but it had to be done.
Oh, it had to be done. Well, I have to say, both of the female dancers were very flattering. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. The theme being laughter and fun and all of that joyful stuff. We are happy to be demonstrating it. Is that part we go into? I know Darren talked about the telling the jokes, about the power and the humor and the laughter that the spirit world love. And that's the message that they come on, is that love and that humor, is the reassurance that they want us to be happy. And how often are we not happy? But we can be. We can be. And if you're here on the Sunday gathering and you have had any kind of dip in your energy at all, I would imagine you're finding it very hard not to be laughing by now. So thank you very much, Sandra. As I'm just going to change my view here, so just in case some strange faces come up. No, okay.
I won't do it.
I know as I begin to work with the spirit world here, I know I have what feels like Uncle here, but I know that as Uncle works with me, he would have been as Phil's uncle might have been a bit of a comedian, but not so politically correct. I also get the sense that with uncle, I know the name James would be within either be uncle. I actually feel that James would be connected to. I do not feel it necessarily be uncle's name, but I actually want to say that at every family gathering, this uncle would have told jokes, would have had, I don't feel he would have got tipsy with the alcohol to that extent, but I do feel he was just naturally this joyful person.
Thank you, Carrie. Okay, guys and girls who can understand this gentleman, press your raise hand button. All right, we've got a couple ladies with their hands raised. Oh, yeah, yes, two.
Okay, and all of them can understand that name, and also James, the name James.
All right. And for the new persons raising their hand, you have to be able to take every bit of this information, okay? Every single bit of what Carrie has said.
Then could I then, if so there's more than two hands, Sandra, so
Yes.
would somebody here understand James being that uncle? So it would have been Uncle James that was this comedian that just didn't necessarily know how to filter it down.
Okay, I'm going to lower your hands, everybody. And if your uncle's name was James, you can put your hand back up. That fits this description. Well, we've got Patricia. We'll bring in Patricia. Hi, Patricia. Could you press your unmute button? Hello.
I'm sorry, I was trying to lower it.
Oh, it's no problem at all.
Yeah, my uncle wasn't James. James is my father. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Everything else fits, but his name was not James.
Can I work with you for a second then, Patricia?
Sure. Uh-huh.
If your father's name was James, then this would be your father's brother.
No, I'm actually
Okay.
brother-in-law.
That would be a no. No, okay, because I know if that were the case that they would come in closely. Does anybody else understand this information? I would say Patricia, Sandra.
No, it's okay. All right, now let's just move her. All right, now we've got many people with their hands raised.
Okay, then I would need everybody to be aware that uncle would have told jokes at family gatherings, would have been a little bit unpolitically correct, and that his names would have been James. I also get a sense that he would have, there would have been the microphone, or he would have been he would have actually, this would have been a family tradition where he would tell jokes. I know he's center of attention. This isn't sitting around the dinner table cracking jokes. This is at large family gatherings.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we have two ladies with their hands raised, Karen and Lisa.
Okay. And with uncle, there would have been an issue with his lungs as well, because I do feel this, I'm not saying it's what took him to the spirit world, but I know there would have been a lessening of the lung capacity and a constriction on his breathing as well. Not that took him to the spirit world, but I know that this affects his breathing.
Thank you, Carrie. All right, Lisa and Karen, can you both take that information also? And their hands remain raised. Do you want to speak to one of them? Or not quite yet?
Can you bring both of them in and just see, because I'm aware that they're I want to just check this information.
Sure can. Okay, Karen and Lisa, if you can unmute yourselves. Hi, ladies.
Hi. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Karen. Can you hear us as well?
Yes,
Yes.
I can, thank you.
Oh,
I
yes.
can understand everything. I'm not absolutely sure 100% on how he died.
Oh, I'm not saying he died with a lung condition, but I know there's a breathing, there would have been a condition that made him cough and breathless.
I'm not absolutely sure.
Would this be your dad's brother, Karen?
This would be
Just a yes or a no.
my uncle. It would be my mum's brother.
Your mum's brother. So that would be a no. Lisa, would you understand this is Dad's brother?
Yes.
Okay. Can I work with Lisa? Because I know Dad is here as well. I know that Dad comes in. Sorry, Karen. Let's listen in for the moment though. But Lisa, you would understand Dad in the spirit world as well.
Yes.
Your dad and his brother must have had very similar senses of humor.
Yes.
Because I get a sense, Karen, is Karen away? Karen, can I double check? Karen, would your dad have also been the comedian?
Yes.
Okay, Lisa, as I started to talk to you, I felt the spirit world stepping away, so I have to honor them. For the moment, Lisa, can I work with Karen? Dad, Karen, your dad would be in the spirit world.
Yes.
And your dad would have been a little bit of the comedian as well.
Sorry, you broke up then.
So your dad would have been a bit of the comedian as well. He would have been a self-confessed comedian with loving his jokes.
Yes.
Because I do feel that, Lisa, for the moment. Thank you very much. But I'm going to work with Karen. I knew there was a connection with Dad as he came in here. But I know that Uncle and your dad, there would have been times where it was almost a competition as to who could, not any unpleasant one, but there was a comradeship between them.
I can understand.
And I know with your dad, Karen, I know
that, yeah.
Uncle got me to
Yes.
you, but I know with Dad, there's a great sense of his comedy. Your dad's comedy must have been at the expense of other people in the family.
Yes.
Your dad must have also had nicknames for other people in the family.
Yes, he did.
Because I know as he jokes with me here, I don't know what the nicknames are necessarily, but I know he would have said to you, oh yeah, aunt such and such, and yet brother such, that he would have had little nicknames for each one of them. But I know your uncle too would have had phrases that your dad would make fun of.
Yes, they'd make fun, yeah.
Because I know as your dad works with me here, Uncle is in the background, feels like he's rolling his eyes as Dad not mocks him, but has a joke at his expense. But I actually feel, Karen, that there must have been a passing, and a family gathering with his jokes just before your dad passed.
Sorry, you broke up again then.
Oh, you would understand a family gathering where those jokes took place just before your dad passed.
Yes, I understand that.
Because your dad's wanting to acknowledge, and there was that family gathering, you would know that your dad wasn't fully present there.
Yes.
Okay, because I know your dad wants to acknowledge he's very much aware of the laughter and the joy that took place at that, and there
Yes.
must have been a birthday celebration at that gathering too.
Yes.
Okay, it's your dad's way of saying he sees it, he was there, he's acknowledging that. But I know with your dad there is this real sense of wanting to share with you that he is very aware of the fact that your year so far has had few laughs in it than he would have liked.
Yes, I understand that.
I know your dad and your uncle are coming in with this laughter, but I know your dad, had he been here, he would have cracked a joke that would have made it obvious to you that he wanted you to lift your spirits.
Absolutely.
And there is okay, and Karen, you would understand somebody that's gone to the spirit world, not your dad, but somebody that's gone to the spirit world very recently.
Yes.
Because I know that this is your dad bringing in, given the circumstances, he still wants to bring laughter and that loving for you as well, Karen. So please take that laughter from your dad, that strength and that courage to laugh in the face of everything else. I said in the address, laughter is a choice. It doesn't diminish anything else that's happening, but do remember the times where your dad and your uncle would have brought that laughter in. I'm going to say thank you very much for working with me, Karen.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much, Carrie.
Karen.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carrie.
Okay. I do get a sense as I move my mind to the spirit world again, I've just got a number of people here. I'm just waiting on things settling down. I do have a sense, Sandra, and I want to say to ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sort this out. I do believe, I'm going to pass over. I do believe that there is something happening in the spirit world. I just need to sort it out, but I'm going to invite Phil over to start working.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to pass over until I sort this out. Okay.
Thank you very much, Carrie. I know the spirit world keeps you on your toes.
Very much keeps us on our toes. And just as Kerry was talking there, and today's about laughter, I'm going down memory lane with some of the memories that I'm going. And I remember working within a church called the Family Spiritualist Society. And I remember it was a lovely church and it was full of kids, and kids were running about, and it was wonderful energy to work in. And this one evening where I was demonstrating, these kids were up and down, and one in particular, a young boy, running up and down with his arms out, and he came up onto the rostrum and stood at the side of me. And I said to him, I remember playing that same game where we're playing aeroplanes. And he went, no, silly, I'm just running about with my hands out. And I just thought, oh, okay, that was me told. But it's these little things that we remember. Anyway, but that's fine. But I know here, as I become aware of the spirit world and want to work with the spirit world, I do believe I have a father with me, and I do believe his name is John. And I know John was very much a family orientated person. And I know here he loved nothing more than the family coming together to reunite, so family gatherings and things. But I know he was the center of attention, because I know he would have a joke for every occasion. He could enter in conversation with absolutely anybody, and he would hold his own. He wasn't phased, and reminded me a little bit what Darren said about just being himself. So I know I have father, I know he was called John, I know he had a real good sense of humor, and I also believe as well that he just had those jokes, and some of these jokes are not politically correct from what I'm hearing.
Thank you very much, Phil. All right, we've got 3 ladies with their hands raised. 4.
That's 4. Okay, so there's quite a lot. But I also feel here, with John, I feel there's an English connection. I feel I want to be connecting to somebody in the United Kingdom. And I also believe with him, he would have had his own business as well.
Okay, great. We've got a couple hands that went down, and we are down to 1 hand. Lynn, we're bringing you in. And everyone else just keep listening in. Hi, Lynn.
Hi there.
Hello, Lynn. Do you understand everything I've said?
Yes, everything.
Good. And would you understand where your dad had a joke for every occasion?
Yes.
And do you understand some of his jokes could be a little bit blue?
Definitely.
And I want to say that his language wasn't always politically correct as well.
Correct.
Because I also feel with him that he was very well known in the community because he spoke his mind and spoke his truth.
Yes.
Because there's just this essence. And would I be right in saying that he had his own business as well?
Yes.
And that business would have been mechanics or cars?
Yeah, definitely.
Because again, but I want to say he would turn his hand to anything and help anybody out.
Yes.
And would I be right in saying he worked out of a small lockup or garage?
Yes.
And I want to say there'd be bits of all kinds of things, not to do just with cars, in that garage.
Yes.
Because it just feels he was a little bit, and would I be right in saying he would collect all sorts of items and really unusual items?
Yes.
Because it feels, even though I'm a mechanic with cars, I've got half bolts here and there and everything else.
Yes.
And I want to say there should be a memory of a caravan that was cut in half.
I'm not sure about that part.
Then would I be right in saying he would try and fix anything?
Yes.
And would I be right in saying he would almost try and make money out of nothing? So we would do almost like doer-uppers and things.
Yes.
Because I know your father. Now, would I be right as well with some of the jokes that your father told? There must have been members of the community at these family events that were invited as well.
Yes.
And would I be right in saying you would have a memory lane of the local vicar or priest coming to one of the parties?
Yes.
And I know your father would tell religious jokes that just are not politically correct.
Yes.
And I know that he would offend the vicar, but it's almost like the vicar was polite and laughed it off.
Yes.
But I know your father held no airs and graces for anybody. He was always, how can I put this? He wasn't offensive, but he was true to who he was.
Yes.
And he makes no apologies for that as well. And your father, I know I said he could be blunt, but if anyone asked a piece of advice or his thoughts, he would be to the point.
Oh, yes.
And when I say to the point, if he didn't like somebody, they knew it.
Yes.
And some of what he would say, I cannot repeat on here. You would understand that.
Almost definitely.
Because I know when your dad was in a bad mood, there'd be words then off and more offs than more offs. Do you understand where I'm
Oh,
going?
yes. Yes.
Okay. But I also know your dad would almost make words up on the spot as well.
Yes.
But I also know in front of you when you were young, he would swear. I'm not saying he wouldn't, but often more than not, he would say things back to front.
Yes.
Because he keeps on saying nut P to me, which I know is peanut, but I know it's his way of getting round swear words and everything else. He would say them backwards. So
Yes.
I know it's just his mindset. But I want to say your father, your dad, was very family orientated.
Yes.
And he would play games like Kaplunk and different things where you had to throw a dice and move around with counters.
Yes.
Because he would always cheat as well. Because again, it's just this impression where he's moving, he's counting 1, 2, then there's a big jump and 6. So
Yeah,
I know but I also know as well you played card games with him.
Yes.
And I know here he would hide cards, move cards and swap cards when you were younger.
Yes.
Because I know it's that sense of fun and the memories he wants to bring, but it's about being the true, authentic self, being just who you are and being who you are. And I know at the moment, and I'm going to be very polite here, is making me aware of things around yourself where it's almost like you can't be yourself.
Yes.
And when I say that, I do believe from his impressions to me right now, it's almost where you have to be politically correct more than anything else.
Yes.
And choose your words carefully.
Yes.
Because I know your dad did not, and he's going like this with a few words and I can't repeat them. So I know here he is not changing anything because he is just true to himself. One last thing. Would I be right in saying there's a memory where he went out and collected cars, almost were told them back in or helped people?
Yes.
And would I be right in saying where we used to live was on a hill?
Yes.
And where his garage was, it was on a hill also?
No.
It doesn't. Then there must be a memory where you saw your dad towing other cars.
Yes.
But I also know there should be a story of where one of the cars he was towing came off the tow rope and went down a hill.
I can't remember something on those lines. Yeah.
Because I know with your dad, he had this wonderful way, so I hope there's no health and safety people listening, of getting round issues because he just made things fit and work for the moment.
Yes.
And I'm going to leave you with those thoughts and those memories and say thank you for allowing me to work with you, Lynn.
Okay, thank you, Phil. That was very nice.
You're absolutely welcome. You're absolutely welcome. That's fine.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Phil.
Good. Okay. I was about to have a drink, ladies and gentlemen, but somebody's mother's here. So I know I've got Mother with me, and I know Mother was a character, was a personality. She made things do and mend. In other words, she didn't like to spend her money. But I also know when it came to Christmas, she always said it was overrated and expensive. And I know she would have bought cheap items like crackers and things, and there would be memories of pulling crackers at Christmas without the bang because she bought them knockoff.
That's funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, who can recognize this lovely lady?
In fact, I want to add something on, Sandra. I'm going to change something I've said slightly. I know she was prim and proper and she would do anything to save her money. And I know what I talked about with the crackers was a one-off because she never did it again. So that's just that little bit I was corrected on.
Okay. Thank you, Phil. All right, ladies and gentlemen, who recognizes this lady? Press your raise hand button. I know everybody's thinking, but no hands are up yet, Phil.
That's absolutely fine, because I know I want to go back to the Christmas period. I know she was a big lover of Christmas, and I know I want to say that she would make Christmas ornaments herself. She would spend time making them, almost like the baubles with pictures in. But I want to say as well, because I feel like I want to be talking to a lady, there would be memories of doing this together with her daughter.
All right, thank you. Ladies. Stacy's got her hand up. Let's bring in Stacy. Hi, Stacy.
Hi. Go ahead, Phil. I'm not sure. I just wanted to say that. I do
That's
have the memory of the
fine. As I hear your voice, Stacey, I don't feel that's right with you. So I know I need to be speaking. So thank you for coming forward, but I know it doesn't feel right.
All
So has
right,
anybody else got
We've got Jay with a hand up. Jay, can you unmute yourself? Hi, Jay.
Hey, how are you?
Great, thanks.
Hello, Jay. Do you understand
Hey.
everything I said?
Well, except the daughter part.
Daughter part, but would you understand where it's going to sound really horrible, and I don't mean to be offensive, but it's either your mum voice, she wanted a daughter or something?
Probably, yes.
Because I know there's something there. I just wanted, because it feels right, even though I've made that mistake there. Would I be right in saying that you spent time making Christmas ornaments with your mum?
Yes, absolutely.
And she absolutely went over the top at Christmas?
Yes, absolutely.
But there should be a memory of buying things and she got them cheap and they didn't work, like crackers and things.
That I'm not sure.
That it doesn't feel right. It felt okay, but it doesn't feel right. Bear with me 1 second here. No, there's something not right. Bear with me. Sandra, can we just hold for a second? I want to have a look at what's happening here.
Absolutely.
That's fine. In fact, I know I've got mum, and I know there should be a memory of making, she was really particular, but I know, in fact, the more I go back into this, I know here that with mum, she was really particular, but as I unfold the story, I also know that she was going through not a great time, were struggling to make ends meet. And I know she bought things cheaper because she didn't want to let people down. And I know some things went wrong, but I know as well, there seems to be memories of making the baubles and Christmas decorations, because I actually feel there was either something different here. I'm not going to go any further. So do we have anybody understanding?
We do. We have Lisa and Donna Marie. Both have their hands up.
Right. So we've got two people. But I want to say it's to do with the family circumstances where things weren't making, where the finances weren't great. But I know here that it's about keeping the tradition of Christmas alive. And I know I do want to be speaking with a woman. I know it's definitely a woman I want to be speaking to.
Well, there's three ladies with their hands up now. Fiona is in here too.
And I don't feel I want to be in the UK. I feel I want to be abroad as well. Can we bring, let's just have a look. I actually want to say, because it keeps on coming back to me, there was either a separation of parents at Christmas as well, or just before, when I know it was hard at that time.
All right, I'm going to lower everybody's hands because several hands went up and you will have needed to take all the information, not just the last things that Phil had said. Okay, if you feel that that all resonates with you as mom, press your raise hand button. Okay, get back to the two ladies, Lisa and Donna Marie.
I actually feel, and I've got to be honest, I do feel I want to be in the southern part of the world. So I want to be that Australia, New Zealand, that southern hemisphere.
Well, I do believe that's where Donna is from. Donna, hello.
Hello. Hi, Phil.
Hello, Donna. Do you understand everything I've said?
Yes, and I'm not the daughter that was with the mother so much, but I believe my sister is listening and she's probably not got the courage or recognizing it.
That's fine, because I did feel somebody wasn't coming forward before.
Yeah,
so you understand where, so don't say any more than just yeses and nos, but Donna, you understand where Christmas was a particular tough period. There should be a memory of that where we were struggling to make ends meet.
Yes, there was one particular Christmas.
That's fine, because that's where I want to be. And there should be memories of like getting things that weren't always kosher. And I know the crackers and things didn't work.
Yeah, she was very conservative. If Deborah's listening, can she put her?
That's fine if she can listen and you can talk it out with it yourselves, because I do feel even though we're talking with sisters, it should be fine. And with your mum, she was a bit of a strong character and she would never almost really show struggles outside the family.
Yes, that's correct.
Because I know here it's just the impression she's painting to me, but I know it's about making decorations together. We really tried to make it personal.
We had a tradition where she always dressed the tree and we watched her.
That's fine. So I know here it's about that personal element. Almost at that time, I want to say we tried to keep things as normal as possible.
Yes, correct.
That's good, because I also feel that your mum was in a way very different. She did things her own way.
Correct.
And I also know as well, she didn't like to answer questions. If she was asked something, she would just do her own thing.
That's right.
Because I don't want to be questioned and I don't want people looking and would you understand where in one way she was bothered about what people thought, but in another way she just got on and did her own thing?
Yes, true.
Because and would I be right in saying that she ran the household her own way as well?
That's right.
And when I say that, it's different to maybe your friends and things.
Maybe, pardon?
It was different than some of your friends or families you knew, the way that your mum did things.
That's right.
Because I know here, and would I be right in saying part of mum was quite old-fashioned?
Traditional, yes.
That's okay, that's a better word than old-fashioned, because I know it's about doing things the traditional way in general. And I know your mum wasn't scared of doing the hard work.
Correct.
Because it feels where she would have worked long hours, but also worked hard at home as well.
Yes.
And I want to say as well, you should have memories of mum being quite frustrated with the way the life was.
Yes.
And when I say that, it's polite. She wasn't always in the best mood.
Correct.
Because I feel that she shared those disgruntles and it wasn't the best atmosphere to be in. But it wasn't because she was being derogatory with you or any of the family. It feels it was just the hand that life dealt her.
Correct.
Would I be also correct in saying she made the most of the environment around the house? So she liked to grow things as well?
Yes. Yes, they
because
did.
again, it feels we had to make do and mend, like I said earlier, but it feels like I turned my hand to other things to try and supply for the family and get through as well. And where she would have also been and lived, she would have liked to go walking.
Yes, they were in their walking groups, yes.
Because I know here it seems like an activity and everything, but I know here she was very much her own person, but out of the family, she wouldn't have shared anything.
That's right.
Okay, good. Because I know this is what makes me aware of as well here. But I know the reason for mum coming forward is really about those personal, how can I put this, things we're going through that we have to keep our head up and our chin up and keep on going. Do you understand why mum's come around you?
Yes, I think so.
That's
with
fine.
my sister.
That's fine, because I know here it's what she wants to do, and it's almost like nobody else knows. We keep on going, and it's keeping that, as we say here in the UK, the stiff upper lip as well. So I know mum comes forward saying, let's carry on as normal and keep going through, but it's just that strength and information how she was to get everybody through as well.
Thank you, Phil.
You're absolutely welcome. Thank you for coming forward, Donna. Thank you.
Thanks.
And I'm going to hand back over to my lovely wife.
Who's laughing? Thank you, Phil.
You know, the one thing that's factually correct,
What?
mediumship cannot take place without the spirit world. And the spirit world came in and I was getting ready to work and then they departed. So they too have a sense of humor.
They sure do.
It has never happened before, but it is absolutely fact that we cannot fake it, we cannot force it. It has to be exactly as it is. And for me to have carried on, it would have just looked like Pinocchio. My nose would have grown. So let's see what happens. There are no guarantees, because as I move my mind to the spirit world, I cross my fingers and cross my legs and my toes that the spirit world are there. And I am correct in saying that they are there, because I do feel I have a young lady that wants to work with me. And I do feel that this young lady would have been in amateur dramatics, or there would have been a period of time that she would have taken part in plays or musicals. And I actually feel this isn't daughter, it's somebody within the family that would have been like daughter, or very, very close. But when I say young, I do feel that she got to young adult, but I know her sense of presence and this amateur dramatics and this singing and this enormous personality. But I need to say as well that her passing to the spirit world would have been very, very quick, and nobody could have prepared for this.
Thank you very much, Carrie. Okay, everyone, who understands this gal? I can feel everybody thinking, but no hands are up yet. Oh, Angela has her hand up. Thank you, Angela. Could you press your unmute button, Angela?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, you would understand everything I've said?
I would understand, yes.
Okay. And Angela, you would know this young lady very well?
Friend of my daughter. I don't know what it means, very well or not, in your terms.
Sorry, is this, you're saying this is your daughter, Angela?
This is my daughter's friend from school.
Okay.
My daughter went to school, so it's...
Okay. And you would have known where she took amateur dramatics, and she did this
in school.
In school, and it doesn't feel like it's gelling. It doesn't feel like it's where it needs to be. Is there? Thanks, Angela, but I feel like this. I normally feel a real pull from the spirit world. Would anybody understand this young lady? I do feel that her passing to the spirit world would have been very, very quick. I don't feel it's medicine. I don't think it's a medical issue. I do feel that this is an accident, and I feel that there would have been this amateur dramatics, because I feel a really big sense of humor with her.
We have Nina here with us. Hi, Nina.
Hi, Sandra. Hi, Carrie. Carrie, it's not me, but I have somebody here with me who asked for me to raise the hand.
Okay. And are you speaking on behalf of them, or?
No. She's right here. Her name is Natalie.
Okay. Hi, Natalie.
Hi.
Hi. Would you understand everything I've said about this young lady in the amateur dramatics? But I do feel her passing is very, very quick.
Yeah, I lost somebody fairly close last year.
Okay. Okay. And I'm so sorry for your loss, Natalie. You would understand that this young lady, however, would have the personality, would have not wanted any sadness.
Yep.
Because she's like, no, not going there, not doing that.
Yep.
But you knew her well.
I'm sorry?
You knew her well.
She was like a sister to me.
Okay, because the sense of humor, I almost feel like I want to have little shush jokes that you only share with her, and on all we would not be able to say them on air.
Yeah.
I also know that you and her would have partaken in the odd. You and her would have made your own types of cocktails.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? Because I know the Cosmopolitan, and you would have given them your own names as well to these cocktails that you made.
I don't know about the names. No, I don't know.
You would have made, because I know I'm searching for names here and I'm getting all sorts of weird stuff, but you would have made your own cocktails, and you would have had things that you watched. I know that I used to watch similar things on Christmas and such like, but I know you and her would have watched similar programs at certain times when you're together.
Something maybe, yeah.
Because I know there's a bit of a routine of things that you have spoken about and remember about your time. Sandra's video this week was about moments, and I know this is what she brings about, these moments that you remember with her.
Yeah.
I also want to say that with her passing, you must have thought about her in the time before she passed, and you must have had it in your head that you wanted to call her or reach out to her, but you never had that time to do that.
She's nodding yes, Carrie.
Okay, because I know there's a sense within your friend that there was nothing that could have ever been foreseen about this. But I also know there are some questions, Natalie, about your friend's passing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And within those questions, I have to say your friend is such a beautiful, funny person, because she's showing this cocktail and saying, see, when you get here, we're going to swap cocktails and tell you all about it. But for now, it's not something you should bother yourself with. Please remember the moments, the memories. I know you and her have some stories that nobody else knows about. I do now. But I know those moments are incredibly important between you and your friend Natalie. I want to see where you were. I know in Britain we have old cobbled streets, but you and her must have memories of walking down some side streets to bars or little places you would have gone together.
Yes.
Because as you go down these little streets, I know that there are you knew her from a young age though, Natalie.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because as you grow up, what your friend is showing me is me and my friend. I've known my friend Lorna. I've known her since we were about 13, and we're over 21 now. And we have some stories of going to each other's houses and having had a tipple when we shouldn't have, and all sorts of these stories. So please know, she is wanting to let you know, first of all, she's fine and dandy. Secondly, she has raised a cocktail since she's passed. You've had a birthday, but on her birthday, Natalie, you raised a glass to her and you wanted to know whether the spirit world is actually the spirit world.
Yeah. Yes.
Please know that the cocktail that you always made, you must have had a piece of fruit in this cocktail as well.
I don't remember. I know it was tequila.
Oh, I heard that. There must have been a memory she had where she could peel an orange or an apple or something in one, where she would take the peel off a fruit.
I don't remember that. I don't know.
Then forgive me, I don't know my cocktails, my daughter would. But there must be a cocktail where they peel off the orange and set fire to the orange, because I can see orange peel on a glass and them setting fire to it. I don't believe that would be tequila, but I know there's a very special, if you have a look, if you research what cocktail needs a piece of orange peel setting fire to, I know this is what she's doing because it's an extra special birthday for you this year, Natalie. Please know that on that extra special birthday, she's got this cocktail, whatever the name is. I hope it's not anything rude, but whatever the name of this cocktail, she's raising that cocktail for you. Please do not think she's far away. The spirit world is as close as you would ever believe. So I know Nina. Haven't met her in person, but I know Nina. Nina will be able to tell you all about the spirit world. Your friend is raising a glass to you. And the pet that's recently gone to the spirit world as well, Natalie, you know where that is?
The what? A pet? A pet that's gone?
Then You would know where there is a dog in the spirit world, Natalie.
No dogs in the
I'll take that as a no. Please know that your friend is wanting to acknowledge. I'm not predicting, we don't do that, so don't fear for anybody that's still living and breathing. But I know that there is, when you find out that a pet link, you would know, Natalie, you would know your friend's family still.
No, I didn't know her personal family. We were like each other's family.
Let me work on this just for a second for you then, Natalie. Before your friend went to the spirit world, there must have been a pet. Now, I know how much we love our pets, and I know that Darren loves his pets, but there must have been a pet that went to the spirit world before your friend did. Because I know they are reunited. So please, when you remember that, please know, because you've had a question you've sent out saying, do animals go there too? That's her answering your question. Please take that love and that humor and that upbeat sense from your friend. Please know she does not want anything to bring that the moment down. And this is her way of reaching out to you and connecting and reassuring you that, yep, we're still here. And those cocktails you had, very much a memory in her mind. Thank you for allowing me to do that, Natalie. Thank you, Nina, for bringing your friend Natalie forward.
Thank you, Carrie. Thanks, Sandra.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sandra, for allowing us to do that. And yep, the spirit would have a sense of humor.
They do. They certainly do. Well, we're not done, ladies and gentlemen. A few announcements and then some tips to bring humor into your life. You don't want to miss this. First, announcements. The spirit world is around and about us. They love us. They've got lives to live, but they're only a heartbeat away, a thought away, but they are with us. Keep talking to them. They're real, and we'll see how difficult communication is one day when we get there, but they're very, very, very real. If you want to read my book or listen to the audiobook, chapter 10 is How to Survive Grief. I know grief is something that brings us to this conversation and looking for evidence of the afterlife. So our home base is wedon'tdie.com. If you go to the store button and you scroll down, you'll see We Don't Die audiobook. Just use coupon code FREE and fast forward to chapter 10. And there's some very healing words about going through grief. There really are. All of our new classes for February are now open for registration. So if you think you're having fun with us in the Sunday gatherings, although we do have a lot of spirituality in our classes, there are also smiles and you feel part of a community. Monday, you're with Scott Milligan and myself for Trance in the Altered States. Tuesday, just a beautiful journey for your soul in the way to your spirit with Carrie and Phil. Wednesdays, they host Psychic Development, which is the first step if you're interested in medium development, which is on our Thursdays. On Friday, we've got a great class event with Scott Milligan, and that is called In the Arms of Eternity, where we spend the first part sitting with our eyes closed for healing. And then following that is a demonstration of trance mediumship, where we get to have a conversation with the other world, and you have goosebumps the whole time. Very special, inspiring, and comforting information. February 6th, if you want to mark your calendar, we're doing a special event with Carrie and Phil called Sitting in the Power. It is just a wonderful way to recharge our batteries, let the spirit world work with us. It helps boost our healing and mediumship and psychic abilities and so much more. So it's a 5-hour workshop on February 6th. And again, everything's at wedon'tdie.com. So how to add some funny? Well, first of all, I have to tell you that I had one heck of a fun week. I didn't realize the extent that I could create my own fun this way. I'm always somebody who thought, if you want funny, you got to read something funny or tell a joke or hear a joke or watch a funny movie. But the sheer act of me trying to find funny, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. There's tons of stuff on YouTube. If you search Candid Camera, or that show in the beginning is called Just for Laughs. Very, very funny. There's a magician it's called the Carbonaro Effect, who does very, very funny things with magic. There's things like Mr. Bean and the Carol Burnett Show and Golden Girls, and you can find so many shorts and replays and things like that. You can search for funny movies on your favorite movie channel. You can research jokes. You can start remembering some jokes and remembering the funny times you had together. It's really wonderful when you're with someone. Ask them about some of their funniest memories or some of the funny times you have together, because we human beings forget, we really do. But as I was sharing with my mom, she's got to see all the videos for the Sunday gathering before you guys did, and we had a good laugh, and it just spurred this conversation about so many of the funny times we had together. And it's like reigniting a flame, because all the funniness and all the laughter came back. And then also, if you saw me doing those funny videos, there's an app that I don't really use. It's called Snapchat. A lot of the younger people do. The younger people, you may have it on your phone, but you can get it for your phone, for your iPad. I got it for my computer. That's how I put those things on. You don't need to be involved with social media, but if you download the app, you can actually play with these video filters that turns you into a baby, turns you into crazy things, a Viking. Your voice can change. And I have spent more fun on videos that you guys will never see. But I mean, I am belly laughing and crying. So Snapchat is the name of that. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just getting the word that we've got. Okay, I'll put you on right now. There's some people that want to say hello. Hang on one second. Let me get them on for you. Okay, I'm coming.
But it is a small world, isn't it, as we found out today. As Darren mentioned, where the past of where we come from affects the present times, because it's that past that creates who you are. But it's also, as Sandra mentioned, I almost called you a mixture of Kerry and Sandra at the same time, but also as Sandra mentioned, as I get my words right, it's about helping our companions along the way, whether we know them, whether we're in competitions with them, or whether it's just somebody we chance that we meet on the street. But for you at home, whether you're live with us right now or whether you're watching this recorded in some future time, allow yourself to remember what it felt like when you knew family and friends were getting together. And I want to say a massive thank you to the three of you guys. And I know at the beginning I referred to you all as gifts. You are truly gifts. And I wanted to say thank you to all three of you personally for your gifts of friendship. And you all personally have your own gifts within you that you offer and share with everyone. So for me and everyone else, thank you to you guys for all that you do. We are all so very happy that you were with us today on the Sunday gathering. Now it is your job for the week to go find funny and go spread funny and go laugh and go live and go love. So thank you, and I'm going to pass it over to Phil for our closing prayer.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's bathe within those tears of laughter, upliftment, inspiration, but really unite in that place of fun that inspires our lives and also keeps us within that positive main. So thank you, Sandra, Darren and Kerry, and everybody here for building up a power for us all to walk in and share that love and that light. And let's go into what we call prayer. Great infinite Spirit, we've bathed together in your light of humor that has uplifted us, brought us that peace, but most of all, united us in memories of our loved ones and pets, with their characteristics, their personalities, but also those memories of growth within life, how we've become the people we are, and we rejoice in those memories of those experiences shared. Again, Father, we ask for that upliftment, that love, and that positivity as we move forward within the journey of this week ahead, and keep us all safe and sound, but most of all, within that power of humour and laughter, knowing there are greater things in front of us for us to still experience and journey through. Amen.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, little Phil, little Carrie, and little Darren. You guys can think I'm crazy, but you know what? It feels so good. And thank you, wherever you are, at home, at work, wherever you are around the world watching our Sunday gathering. You are a very real part of our community. Even though we are not physically together, we are together. We have a Facebook group. If you want to join and let us know how you enjoyed the Sunday gathering, you may. If you go to wedon'tdie.com, click up above, it'll say Facebook group, and you can join. You can also register for next week's Sunday gathering. We do have one more video, and it is a little boy, 4 years old, doing a dance in a dance competition. And it's to a song actually that went viral. You might remember it, but it just really moves me that this little boy is so fully self-expressed. And it just reminds me that we can all be those children at heart, no matter how old we are. Be yourself, be self-expressed. Okay, let me just play this for you, and then we'll let you continue your day.